Now, this is a version of the Connemara black. This is a standard one which has got a wee bit of fluorescence in the tail. Now I'm going to tie an olive version. This is a fly here. So basically it's an olive Connemara. Now this is it's obviously a good trout fly, but it's a good sea trout fly. The Connemara will take sea trout and even salmon, depending on the size it's tied. But I mean, I've had sea trout in size 12s easily. So I mean, the Connemara is a great colour combination, but I'm going to tie an olive version, which is a very good trout fly, tied in size 12s, size 14s, 10s, or whatever size. It's a good colour and it works extremely well. The thread I'm going to be using is a Uni 8.0 in olive to suit the fly. Now we start at the eye, and as we come down and remove the waist. Now on the way down we tie in this neon. You can use a red, hot orange or even yellow, but the hot orange, this one works extremely well. It's a nice bright colour. Now we've got 2 strands of the floss side by side. I'm going to tie it in the way down and line it up. Just catch it on, work our way down to the back of the hook, to in line with the barb, and I usually come underneath with a turn just to lift the tail slightly. Length around about half the body length for this part of the tail, and then just tap it and all. As you can see, it just blends together. Now the tail I'm going to be using dyed. This is golden pheasant crest. Now this head was actually a bit weak in colour, so I like to dye it anyway. This is a golden yellow, and it lifts the colour a wee bit. Now I'm going to actually tie in 2, so I've got 2 together here, as you can see. Tail length, I mean, I've tied them long, tied them short. You tie it to suit yourself. I'm just making sure the ends are the same length. Just hold the tail that you want in your finger and thumb. Make sure you wax your thread before you do this. Just tie it on the top. A couple of turns or so just to secure it in. Just check how it's sitting. No, it's fine. Don't be too fussy with it. Trim it the length of the body. The rib of the fly, I'm going to use just a small oval gold tinsel, or number 14 if it's for vineyards. You could use a tinsel as well, it's up to yourself. Now I'm just going to tidy this up, so just take the thread up, and then I'm going to come back down. Now for the body I'm going to be using a light olive seal's fur. You could use a medium or a dark. It still works. Now you could use whatever dubbing you have, SLF or what. Now you can see I'm actually a couple of mil up from the tail, and I'll show you. I like to basically wind to that point. Sometimes it's easier just to take the dubbing up, stretch the dubbing out, just so that you don't catch the tail fibres when you're trying to get it up close, and then you can form your body with the dubbing. Stroke back the fibre and bring your rib up through. Now you're looking round about 5 turns or so. Again, just before you tie off, just stroke back any fibre going forward. Catch it in. 3 or 4 turns. Trim away. I'm just going to wax on my thread. Tying this, I'll show you this. This is a wee cheap Indian neck, a ginger neck which I've dyed olive. So you get a nice mix of colour. You see the colour I've dyed, but basically you get this browny olive, which is a good colour. Now I've got a hackle here, just going to tie in by the tip. Just going to reveal the tip of the hackle, trim away the excess. A wax. Now I'm tying in tidying up where I've tied in the rib as well as tying the hackle in. I've got my hackle pliers. You're not going to get many turns of the Indian hackle, so, and the fibres, depends on how good the fibres are. Depends how many turns you need, so but I always put plenty in. You can always take it off. So wind down till you're happy. Across the thread, 3 or 4 turns in. Trim away. Excuse me. Trim away the stem. Tidy the area up to see how things are sitting. That's fine. Just lightly roll it back. You can drop the fibres down either side if you wish. I'm going to put a throw at a Guinea fowl, dyed blue. Now you could use, if you have J, use it. But I'm just going to use the dyed blue Guinea fowl. Just 90 degrees from the stem, I'll line the tips up for you. And then I'm basically going to put it underneath, or offer it underneath and pinch and loop up the way. So basically what I'm doing is I'm holding the material within my finger and thumb, pinching the thread, pinch it, then pull the loop up through 2 or 3 turns. Just see how the fiber's sitting. Make sure there's a bit of wax on the thread. Do another couple of turns here. Just make sure it's not going to move. And then use your finger to push away the thread. And then come in with the tips of the scissors and trim away. Now your first cut's your best, so see what I've done here. Now you can see here it's tightly coming over the eye a wee bit. The cure to fix that is just to use your nail or trim it away, but you can basically what you can do is fold it back. So bring the thread to that point there. It's basically tucking the fibres back, and then as you wind, stroke these fibres back. I'll show you, I'll turn round now, you can see how it's tidied up. So, ready for your wing. Now you could use a normal bronze mallard, or what I've done here is I've dyed some of the smaller feathers olive. Same colour as the cape, dyed them olive. Got right and a left here. So I'm just going to bring out enough to form the right side wing. Tear it away. And what I'm doing is when I bring it out, I'm lining the tips up a wee bit. Tear away. Then I'm going to basically, there's a couple of ways of actually tying or putting these on. You can obviously go right, left, and then fold them. Just line up the ends. Or the easiest way is just to lay one on top of the other. Same length. And then fold that down either side. But what I like to do is, if you see one's on top of the other, just pull them together. You see how they're lining up? They're marrying together, so you get a nice wing. Short of the tail, fold it in half, and then pinch and loop. 3 turns is there. See what the wing's like, it's fine. Trim away. Obviously I've cut a hackle here, but we can fold that back when we're ready. Wax on my thread. You then take that hackle fibre that's obviously went forward, or anything going forward, take it back. Bring the thread to the eye and then build the thread up from the eye into these cut ends. This will give you a nice head. It's easier to work the thread up from here rather than work the thread to the eye because it keeps slipping. And especially with wax thread, you can work your way up. It's like building a step up. Then you can finish off with 2 jungle cock eyes if you have them. If you don't, just finish the fly. So if we obviously get 2 eyes here, just hold the eyes. Just stroke back the fibres you don't want. One either side of the wing. Well, 1, 2, just to hold, keep the thread tight. Just look how the eye is sitting. Position of the eye. If you want, on your side it seems to be quite low. My side is fine, so what I'm going to do is go back in, hold the eyes, 2 turns back, just bring it slightly up on, especially your side, a couple of more turns. That's fine, that'll do it. You can fold these back. The only problem with folding back these, will tend to thicken the head up even more, but I'd rather have a well tied fly once you stay together The head's not going to make a huge difference unless you want to take a photograph of the fly, but as a fishing fly you don't mind that. Just come up, pull in the back, ignore them at this point, tidy the head up, quick finish, trim away your thread. Because it's well tied in, you can actually break these off. And plus, because the thread's waxed, you get a neat cut if you can break it off. And then we can go to varnish. All the way around. Just rotate the vise if you can. And then apply the varnish. If you want a nice shiny head, 2 coats. But anyway, make sure the eye's clean. Use a piece of wire. And there we are. Now that's the olive Connemara. I see it is a variant of the original Connemara, which is black. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It's a great wee fly, certainly worth fishing in the lochs of Scotland and even in the rivers. And thank you for watching.